Imagine this. You have an important meeting tomorrow, maybe a job interview, maybe an exam, maybe you're about to travel across the country. You set your alarm for 6 a.m. and go to sleep. Now imagine one thing. Alarms don't exist. No phones, no clocks, no smartwatches, no alarm apps, nothing. You're living hundreds of years ago. So, how would you wake up on time? Let's say you're a farmer in a small village. The sun rises at dawn and your work begins immediately. If you wake up late, you lose valuable hours of daylight. So what do? Simple. You train your body. Ancient people often followed the same routine every single day. They slept shortly after sunset and woke up around the same time every morning. After years of doing this, their bodies became incredibly accurate. In many cases, people would wake up just before sunrise without needing any device at all. Their internal clock did the job. But what if you needed to wake up earlier than usual? That's where things get interesting. In ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome, people developed clever methods to wake themselves up. One method involved drinking large amounts of water before bed. Sounds harmless, right? Well, a few hours later, nature would force them to wake up. Not exactly comfortable, but effective. Others relied on animals. Roosters became famous for a reason. Long before alarm clocks existed, people noticed that roosters crowed around dawn every morning. Villages were filled with them. For many people, the rooster was the alarm clock. The only problem? Roosters aren't very precise. Sometimes they crow early, sometimes they crow repeatedly, and sometimes they wake up the entire village. But cities had an even stranger solution. Imagine walking through the streets of an old city before sunrise. Everything is dark. Everyone is asleep, except one person. A man carrying a long stick. His job? To wake people up. These workers became known as knocker-uppers. Yes, that was a real job. People paid them to wake them up at a specific time. The knocker-upper would arrive before dawn and tap on a customer's window using a long stick, until the person finally woke up. Then he'd move on to the next house. Imagine trusting a stranger to wake you up every morning. Miss one house, and someone could lose their job. Some knocker-uppers became incredibly skilled. They memorized entire neighborhoods and dozens of schedules. Certain workers even used pea shooters to fire small peas at upper-floor windows. Much easier than carrying an extremely long stick. Imagine being woken up every morning by peas hitting your glass window. Strange, but it worked. Then there was another secret that most people today don't know. For much of history, many people didn't sleep the way we do now. Instead of one long sleep, they often had two sleeps. Historians call them the first sleep and the second sleep. People would go to bed shortly after dark, sleep for several hours, wake up in the middle of the night, stay awake for an hour or two, then go back to sleep until morning. During that quiet period, people prayed, talked, read, worked, or simply thought. To them, waking up at midnight wasn't strange. It was normal. And honestly, their nights were very different from ours. Today, cities glow with lights. Screens keep us awake. Our bedrooms are brighter than ancient streets ever were. But back then, darkness was everywhere. When the sun disappeared, most activities stopped. The night naturally told people when it was time to sleep, and the sunrise told them when it was time to wake up. So how did ancient people wake up without alarms? Sometimes they trusted their bodies. Sometimes they trusted roosters. Sometimes they drank too much water. And sometimes they literally hired another human being to knock on their window. All because one simple invention didn't exist yet, the alarm clock. And somehow, people still managed to show up on time.